Hello, fans of the free and low spec. First of all, I'd like to announce I have a new laptop. Yay me. I've been kind of busy lately, so sorry for the lack of episodes, especially just after getting Cagep10 together. That's rather stupid of me. But here's a new episode, so welcome new subscribers, and I hope you enjoy. In this episode, I'm reviewing Nexiuz, which is an Unreal Tournament type game, and I'm reviewing Blippin' Balls of Steel. I'll just let you see the review showcase thing. Anyways, before we continue, I have set up a forum. It's for myself, and if you've ever been to Alt-Tab reviews, I have mentioned them before. We have sort of started working together under Gamers Gone Broke. We still do our own videos and have not much to do with each other, but we do share the forum, the Gamers Gone Broke forum, which you are seeing on your screen now. And there is a link to it in the comment section. Please click this link. Anyways, let's start with the review. But again, please, forum, if you like the series, and if you're a fan of Alt-Tab reviews especially, and a friend of mine, check the forums, make an account, get involved in the community, because it really does help me and Alt-Tab reviews. It helps us a lot to know that the fans enjoy us, that fans enjoy talking about the games that we play, and that you like our reviews, basically. So if you have the time and you think you can be active in the forum, I'd love you to make an account and just post a few things and visit a few bit a day every day if you can. Okay, I'm gonna stop ranting now. Here's the review. Enjoy. Nexiuz is an open-source deathmatch game trying to bring back the goodness of arcade shooters with stupidly big guns, unrealistic physics, and lots of gibs, in today's world of realism-based gaming. In short, it's Unreal Tournament, and it's Quake 3. Now, is it a little kid trying to play with the big boys, or is it actually worthy of note? Well, if I answered that so soon, you'd have no point in even watching this review, would you? Graphically, the game is amazing. No, I don't mean ultra-realistic, I mean cheap-ass gamers version of the graphics. What's that, you might ask? Well, basically, you can put on all sorts of effects and whatnot, and the game will look as pretty as a Japanese schoolgirl with a puppy. But you'll need a behemoth of a PC to play. You can, of course, disable every single effect individually to get the perfect balance between smoothness and Japanese girl with puppies. I, for one, love explosions, so while I lowered texture quality, I left real-time lighting on to get the pretty explosions, as you can see. Moving on, how's the game actually play? Well, the physics feel like something in between Quake and Unreal. I find myself not dying so quickly and horribly as I do in Quake 3, but you do get the strafe jump, rocket jump, and all those fancy unrealistic maneuvers that you get in the Quake games. And the weapons do work quite well. Speaking of weapons, there's a very nice variation of weapons. You start with a shotgun. While it's weak, it's not the worst starter gun I've ever seen in a deathmatch game. You do stand somewhat of a chance with it. Guns worth mentioning would be the different explosive weapons. There's the rocket launcher, which is somewhat slower than in most games of this type, but a nice touch is that you can blow up the rocket with secondary fire whenever you want. So no more aiming at the floor beneath your opponent. Just aim at the bastard's face and blow that grin off his face as he thinks he's dodged your moving shot. There is mortar, which up till recently I called the grenade launcher, because that's basically how it works. And there's, I don't even know what it's called, but it's an automatic explosive weapon, and it makes me wet myself with all the pretty explosions, even though it is incredible. There's also a typical to the genre ASMD shock rifle railgun variant, and quite a few other guns, but I'm not going into any more detail about them. The level design is, for the most part, excellent, but there are a couple of levels I feel are not really built for the number of players the game supports. Running around with a shotgun as everyone gets the rocket launcher seconds before you do can be very, very frustrating. The game modes vary quite nicely, but they're in no way original. There's Deathmatch, Team Deathmatch, Capture the Flag. There's also Domination, which is straight out of Unreal Tournament 2000. And Onslaught, which is straight out of Unreal Tournament 2004, just without the vehicles. the game does feature a decent single-player campaign, which takes you through all the game modes in relatively tough bot matches. And it is a great way to explore some of the less popular modes that you won't find online. The game also features some mutators like Instagib and Vampire, which you will see in some servers, and many of the campaign levels include them. In conclusion, I'd like to say that this game is quite an amazing package. It is in no way original, but it knows that, and it's not trying to hide it. It's comfortable with what it is, and that's just fine, because it does what it does extremely well. So, to rate the game, low spec, 4 out of 5. If you remove all the effects and lower the texture quality, it should run on just about everything, but of course if you have a powerful enough PC, the game's in the overall quality, 4.5 out of 5. It is unoriginal, but it's not pretending to be original. It knows what it wants to do, and it does it perfectly. That's really all there is to say about it. Blip and Blop Balls of Steel is a 2D action platformer similar to the popular Contra and Metal Slug series. You play as either Blip or Blop. Two balls, because that's what they are, balls. Balls with guns, anyway. The whole point is, well, I don't even know what the point is, but it involves lots of popular cartoon and video game characters and some sort of conspiracy. The game starts out in the land of the Smurfs, Snuffs as they're called in this. You are sent to investigate the disappearance of Gargamel, and to your horror, he's been horribly murdered by the Snuffs. So of course, you go on a murderous rampage from the left side of the screen to the right side of the screen, where then you fight a boss, and you find yourself killing lots of things on the way. You do end up in quite a few interesting places, like Smurfland and Land of the Care Bears, or Scare Bears as they're called in this. You do end up in Sonic's world and Super Mario's world, but I'm afraid I've got no footage of that because it's hard to get that far. And of course you're always killing lots of things very violently on the way. There is a lot of blood, by the way. This really is a lot like Contra and Metal Slug. It's just non-stop action. You start out with a submachine gun of sorts and find shotguns and heavy machine guns as you go along. There is also a flamethrower and a laser gun, but they are not common whatsoever. You do have a special weapon, the cow bomb, which is basically the panic, oh my god, kill everything on the screen. As you can see, kill everything on the screen. There's also a 2-player mode, which in fact is the way the game's meant to be played, because just like, you know, Contra and Metal Slug, it's always more fun to play with a friend. As a whole, the game is really fun. You are in for one hell of a time and a lot of challenge. It's far from easy. There's no continues. Once you're down to your last life, that's it. Last life, you're dead. Game over. Gotta start from the very beginning again. So you do need to be careful. And I do suggest you use a gamepad because, especially in 2-player, because it's really not easy to be cooped up on one keyboard, and it's a game that feels more natural with a keypad, with a gamepad. You know, it's the kind of game that either you'd be playing at the arcades or at home, like on your PlayStation or something. You know, PlayStation 1, by the way. I mean, a while ago. Yeah, it's a good game. I highly suggest it. It's challenging and it's fun. It's very much worth your download.